I was just saying, Louis doesn't understand social distancing. So he goes up like wanting to cuddle everything, and particularly any babies younger than him.
For years, royal appearances have followed the same careful rhythm. Every step is rehearsed, every expression observed, and every movement measured against centuries of tradition. Crowds gather expecting elegance, ceremony, and routine. But during one unforgettable public event, something happened that instantly changed the atmosphere around the royal family. The noise faded. Cameras stopped flashing for a moment. Conversations fell silent. And at the center of it all stood young Prince Louis. No one expected the smallest member of the Wales family to become the focus of such an emotional moment. He had always been known as the playful royal child, the one making funny faces on balconies, covering his ears during ceremonies, or stealing attention with his mischievous energy. But this time was different. There was no laughter, no playful grin. Instead, there was stillness. A quiet expression crossed his face as he slowly lowered his head in a gesture so sincere that even senior royals seemed visibly moved by it. Those watching closely noticed something unusual immediately. Prince Louis was not acting out of obligation. He looked deeply aware of the gravity of the moment unfolding around him. The crowd seemed to sense it too. For a brief second, the young prince appeared older than his years, carrying the weight of royal tradition in a way few expected from a child so young. Even King Charles appeared caught off guard. Observers later described the moment as deeply emotional because it represented something larger than a simple royal gesture. It was a glimpse into the future of the monarchy itself. Behind the polished ceremonies and carefully organized appearances stood a young boy beginning to understand the history, responsibility, and expectations tied to his family name. Prince Louis was born into a world unlike any other. From a moment of his birth on April 23, 2018, his life became part of modern royal history. Crowds gathered outside St. Mary's Hospital in London as news spread across the United Kingdom and beyond. Royal fans waved flags while television crews delivered nonstop coverage. The newest member of the royal family had arrived. His full name, Louis Arthur Charles, carried generations of royal significance. Louis honored Lord Louis Mountbatten, the beloved mentor and relative whose influence shaped Prince Philip and King Charles for decades. Arthur reflected one of the monarchy's oldest traditional names, linked to legends of British kingship and continuity. Charles paid tribute directly to his grandfather, who would later ascend the throne as King Charles III. But beyond his name, Louis also inherited something far more powerful: position. At the time of his birth, royal title rules were already changing. For decades, only certain descendants of the monarch automatically received the title of prince or princess. Older royal laws dating back to King George V had limited how far titles extended within the family. Without intervention from Queen Elizabeth II, Prince Louis might never have been called prince at all. Instead, in 2012, Queen Elizabeth made a historic decision. She issued new letters patent declaring that all children of Prince William would receive royal titles equally, regardless of birth order. That single decision permanently altered the future for George, Charlotte, and Louis. It also reflected how the monarchy itself was evolving. For centuries, royal families operated through strict hierarchy. Firstborn sons carried enormous importance, while younger children often faded quietly into the background. But modern Britain expected something different. The royal institution needed warmth, relatability, and emotional connection with the public. Prince William and Catherine understood this better than anyone. Their children were not raised to appear distant or untouchable. Instead, they were encouraged to behave naturally in public, showing personality rather than perfection. That parenting style became especially visible through Prince Louis. At the Platinum Jubilee celebrations in 2022, the world watched him become an internet sensation almost overnight. While military parades filled the streets and royal processions moved through London, Louis made headlines simply by being himself. He pulled faces, waved dramatically, and reacted honestly to the overwhelming noise and attention surrounding him. Instead of damaging the royal image, those moments strengthened it. Millions of viewers suddenly saw something refreshingly human inside the monarchy. Parents related to Catherine's calm reactions. Children laughed at Louis's expressions. Social media transformed him into one of the most recognizable young royals in years. Yet beneath those funny moments, palace insiders reportedly saw another side to him entirely. Family members often described Prince Louis as energetic but highly observant. Though playful, he paid close attention during important royal events. Staff reportedly noticed how quickly he absorbed formal traditions despite his young age. Over time, small glimpses of maturity began appearing during ceremonies, church services, and memorial appearances. That is why the moment that silenced the crowd felt so unexpected. As the ceremony unfolded, attendees were focused on the senior royals. Cameras followed the king, the Prince and Princess of Wales, and other key members of the family. But then attention slowly shifted toward Louis. Standing beside his family, he suddenly became unusually quiet. His playful energy disappeared. His posture changed completely. Then came a gesture. Prince Louis gently bowed his head. It lasted only seconds, yet it instantly transformed the mood around him. There was something remarkably sincere about it. Not exaggerated, not rehearsed, just quiet respect from a child beginning to understand the importance of the moment he was witnessing. The crowd reacted almost immediately. People who had been smiling moments earlier suddenly fell silent. Even experienced royal commentators struggled to describe why the moment felt so powerful. Perhaps it was because nobody expected such emotional awareness from the youngest child in the family. Or perhaps it revealed something deeper about the future generation of royals. King Charles himself appeared visibly emotional. Though he quickly returned to composure, cameras captured a brief pause in his expression. Royal experts later suggested that moments like these matter enormously inside the monarchy because they symbolize continuity. They remind the public that the institution survives through generations, passing responsibility from one era to the next. For Charles, whose reign began during a time of uncertainty and transition, seeing his young grandson behave with such awareness may have carried enormous emotional weight. The monarchy today faces challenges unlike any previous generation encountered. Public expectations have changed dramatically. Social media places every royal appearance under intense scrutiny within seconds. Younger generations question tradition more openly than before. Maintaining public trust requires authenticity as much as ceremony. That is where Prince William and Catherine's parenting approach becomes so important. Unlike earlier generations of royals raised within rigid emotional distance, the Wales children are growing up with far greater openness and stability. William has spoken publicly about mental health, emotional communication, and the importance of being present as a parent. Catherine has focused heavily on early childhood development, emphasizing emotional security and healthy family life. Together, they are attempting something rare inside royal history, balancing duty with normality. Prince George is being carefully prepared for his future role as king. Princess Charlotte often appears confident and composed beyond her years. But Prince Louis occupies a different position within the royal structure. He carries fewer direct constitutional expectations, allowing his personality to emerge more freely. Ironically, that freedom may make him especially valuable to the monarchy. Royal history shows that younger royal siblings often shape public perception in surprising ways. Some become beloved national figures precisely because they appear more relatable and less burdened by the crown itself. Louis's natural charisma already attracts enormous public affection. His spontaneity cuts through royal formality in ways audiences find refreshing. Yet moments like the bowed head reveal that beneath the charm lies awareness. As he grows older, Prince Louis will gradually learn more about the institution surrounding him. He will understand the sacrifices required of senior royals, the pressures of public life, and the expectations attached to every appearance. Childhood playfulness eventually gives way to responsibility. Many royal observers believe William and Catherine are carefully preparing all three children for those realities, while protecting their emotional well-being at the same time. That balance is not easy. Previous generations of royals often struggled emotionally under the pressure of tradition. King Charles himself endured a difficult upbringing shaped by strict expectations and emotional reserve. Princess Diana later changed public perceptions of royal parenting forever by showing warmth and affection openly toward William and Harry. Today, William appears determined to combine royal discipline with Diana's emotional openness. The result is a royal household that feels noticeably different from earlier eras. The Wales children are seen attending school events, sporting activities, and family outings in relatively relaxed settings. Public appearances no longer feel entirely staged. Instead, they present the monarchy as a family adapting to modern expectations while preserving ancient traditions. Prince Louis represents that transition perfectly. He can be playful one moment and deeply respectful the next. He reflects both childhood innocence and royal heritage simultaneously. That contrast fascinates the public because it humanizes an institution often viewed as distant. The moment he bowed his head captured all of that in seconds. For older generations watching, it symbolized continuity and respect for tradition. For younger audiences, it showed genuine emotion rather than stiff ceremony. And for the royal family itself, it may have offered reassurance that the next generation is slowly learning the meaning behind the crown. As Prince Louis grows older, speculation about his future role will only increase. Some royal watchers believe he may eventually receive a significant dukedom, perhaps even one carrying historic importance within the royal family. Others predict he could become a central public figure supporting Prince George's future reign. Whatever path awaits him, his position inside the monarchy will likely become more defined over time. But for now, moments like these matter because they shape public perception long before official responsibilities begin. Royal children grow up under extraordinary attention. Every gesture becomes part of a larger narrative about the monarchy's future. A smile, a wave, or a quiet bow can dominate headlines worldwide within hours. That reality creates immense pressure even for adults, let alone children. Yet Prince Louis continues to navigate that spotlight with surprising confidence. What makes him especially compelling is that audiences never quite know what to expect. One appearance might feature playful antics and childlike spontaneity. Another might reveal maturity far beyond his age. That unpredictability keeps public interest unusually high around him. And perhaps that is exactly why the silence surrounding that bowed head felt so memorable. For one brief moment, there were no distractions, no jokes, no viral expressions, just a young prince standing quietly within centuries of royal history, appearing to understand that he was part of something larger than himself. Even the monarch seemed speechless. In many ways, the moment represented the changing face of royalty itself. The monarchy can no longer rely solely on grandeur and distance to maintain relevance. Modern audiences connect through emotion, sincerity, and authenticity. Prince Louis, without even trying, delivered all three. His gesture reminded people that behind the titles and ceremonies are human beings shaped by family, responsibility, and memory. It showed a child beginning to grasp the significance of the world around him while still remaining unmistakably himself. That combination may ultimately define the next chapter of the royal family. The future king, Prince George, will carry the crown one day. Princess Charlotte will likely continue growing into a steady and influential royal figure. But Prince Louis may become something equally important, the emotional bridge between tradition and relatability. A royal who reminds the public that even inside palace walls, genuine feeling still matters. And perhaps that is why the moment spread so quickly across the world. Not because it was dramatic, not because anyone planned it, but because silence, sincerity, and a simple bowed head somehow said more than words ever could.